Hey, do you mind if I show you something that I don't talk a lot about? Cool. All right. Here you go. So yeah, 200 days sober for myself. There's really no piece of advice or lesson that I want to attach to this. I know I talk about and give advice a lot for men and people in relationships and how to heal and grow and all these things. And me, as someone who helps other people with their patterns and how to break away from them, I'm also human and have patterns that I need to and wanted to break away from. And I was lucky enough to finally make that decision and stick with that decision. And it's been the most freeing thing that I've done for myself in a very long time. So if you're out there, whether it be relational stuff or life stuff, and you're like, these patterns are tough to break, I get it. I empathize with that because up until May, I also struggled with my pattern towards booze. And it was more so just me always taking the edge off at the end of every night. I'd put my kids to bed, I'd come downstairs, reach for a beer in the fridge, and it was almost every single night that was happening. And if I was feeling anxious, it was 2 beers. And then I would take a month off and I would come back to it with, rules and regulations and boundaries. And then they would just kind of slowly fade. And I was like, I can't keep doing it. So I stopped. And in doing so, I reached out to a former client and friend of mine at this point. And I knew that in the last couple of years, he had decided to stop drinking and just wanted to kind of share my side of the story with him and asked him if there was any pieces of advice along the way. And what he said to me was profound, still is profound, and I wanted to share it here as well, which is sobriety gave me what booze promised me. Whether it be the peace and the joy and the freedom or whatever we were looking for in the booze, it was going to take the edge off and give us some level of peace or freedom or what have you. Consistently moving away from it and knowing that I have the freedom to choose and I have the peace of mind knowing that I'm not controlled by this thing or I have this pattern that feels controlled by this thing is the gift. And I found that to be true. So I wanted to share that piece with you guys as well. But either way, 200 days for me. And to anybody out there working through and struggling with patterns of any kind, I empathize with you. And I hope you stay on the up and up and give your best for your best, whatever that may be. All right.